Reddit by Reddit recap. What is something you enjoyed as a kid, but hate as an adult? Certain 80s sitcoms. Tried watching the original Full House again and just couldn't get past 10 minutes of it. Pretty much anything with a laugh track is really hard for me to watch now. I had not watched Flintstones in decades and it came on, and it has a fucking laugh track. That can't be right. Looks it up. Oh no. Oh no. 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 Having no job. I still like having no job. What I don't like is having no money. At the end of the day all I want to do is sleep, eat, maybe read a nice book. I have never wanted to be super rich or successful or anything. I don't even want kids. Are you me? This is what I want. Moving house. I loved packing, choosing a new room, exploring a new neighborhood. I'd moved 20 times by the time I turned 18. I'm moving out of my first flat now, and it is the worst. Mum never warned me about the billion calls and contracts and credit scores and references and moving companies and just the general stress of moving out. I hate it. It's the worst. 20 times. Why? Mum had to move a lot because of her job. Mix that in with the fact she gets antsy and wants to move every 6 months and the number just kept going up. I've stayed in my current flat for 2 years and that's the longest I've ever stayed in one place. Wow man, I've only moved 2 times in 36 years. Moving is hell to me, and so expensive. Most of the movies I liked when I was a kid don't hold up as an adult. I've stopped revisiting them so I don't spoil the good memories. Also, that mansion costing $300,000 is depressing now. Shrek holds up. Honestly, I watched it for the first time in like 15 years a few weeks ago, and as much as that movie is a huge meme, it's a really good kids movie, even aside from the insane amount of adult jokes. The movie holds up extremely well. I didn't even like it that much as a kid. Going outside during the summer. Uck the heat. Uck bugs. Uck humidity. Uck bugs. Uck hot behind wind. Uck bugs. Uck direct skin burning sunlight with hot behind wind. And uck bugs. Summer in general. I loved it as a kid because it meant no school. Now it just means sweaty swamp behind 24/7. I never understood why people got so frustrated with insects that they put poison in their yard. Until I bought a house. It's 100 ucking degrees out there with 50% humidity or greater. Everything wants to bite me. For some damn reason. If I spend more than a few hours out in the yard, I am covered in bug bites. Some that itch for days. Mowing is ucking awful thanks to the bugs. Half the time, I don't even know what bit me. Don't forget to turn off the lights before opening your outside doors at night. That way a billion ants with 6 legs and wings don't fly in and ruin your whole week. Mosquitoes can literally uck off and die and I think everyone and every animal would be happier. In fact, I think mosquitoes are one of the #1 reason why there isn't peace in the world. Everyone is so pissed off at mosquitoes. They're lashing out at others. I will never understand why summer is viewed as the time of the year when you can do things outside. Summer is the only season when I don't want to be outside. Jumping down 3-4 steps at a time. My knees won't put up with that nonsense now. Holy shit. I used to jump entire flights of stairs for shits and giggles in high school. Do it again. Recapture old glory. Land on the front of your feet rather than the heels and bend your knees. Makes all the difference. Going to the mall. I used to like browsing stores, but now I just want to get what I need and go. Part of it is the mall's fault for me. When I was younger the mall was a bit more varied. You had your toy store, your games store, your arcade, Sharper Image, Discovery store, candy store, etc. Now I go to the mall and it's the food court and endless apparel stores. All the more interesting stores have been pushed out of business. Right. I remember when you had interesting kiosks with diverse random merchandise. Now it is just a couple of custom shirt makers and 20 kiosks selling Chinese knockoff consoles. Used to have stores that were fun to browse and see what new things they came up with like the Science Shop, Discovery Store, even Brookstone back when they had cool gadgets. Now it is just food, clothes, GameStop, and Spencer's. Right, I remember when you had interesting kiosks with diverse random merchandise. Now it is just a couple of custom shirt makers and 20 kiosks selling Chinese knockoff consoles. Don't forget the Chinese knockoff phone cases, the Chinese knockoff headsets and smartwatches, and such. I miss things like the Discovery Store, the Nature Store, KB Toys, I am not old, the random independent PC gaming store we had at ours, I am old, Barnes and Noble and Borders, we had both in one mall, and such. My birthday. It's not that I hate it, it's just that I don't care about it anymore. Same. I also don't care about getting presents. I only do something for myself because my kids get mortified at the thought of me not doing something. Getting older. I'm getting too old for this shit. Diplomatic immunity. It's just been revoked. Lunchables. I always told my parents to get me some after seeing the commercials. Looking at it now, who TF actually thinks this is a decent lunch? It's an overpriced box of cheese and crackers and a Capri Sun. My dad once came home with a brick of cheese, a container of deli ham, and a box of Ritz and told me I could make my own damn Lunchables. Homemade Lunchables are best Lunchables. Yep, we call it charcuterie. Vienna sausages. My brother and I used to wrestle and fight over who would get the last can. Hadn't had them in ages and was telling my kid about them. So I thought I'd get a can for old time's sake. Could not even choke them down. They are so gross to me now. Ayumbi. I used to love them. Boasted them to my kid and bought a can. Even my son didn't like them and he'll eat anything. Gave them to my dog and no lie, she threw them up. LOL. I feel like sadness. I touched a core happy memory and ucked it up. Right, I was like, oh, I can pass on a happy memory to my kid and he just remembers it as the day I attempted to deploy a food weapon at him by having him try one. Maybe they changed the recipe. Staying up all night. As a kid, it was a badge of honor staying up all night long. Going to bed after the sunrise now means that I've worked too much. Sleeping really late as well. As an adult, sleeping late makes me feel like I've wasted a whole day off. Good old times, where you slept from 6 PM to 7 AM. Being in bed at 7 PM as a kid, sunlight still shining through the curtains and reading a book till 9 or 10 PM. Now I've lost all the time for books and I've certainly no desire to be in bed at 7. Talking about politics, it used to make me feel smart and grown up. Now I just get angry and exhausted. Yes, it is almost always a shitfest and you just can't make a sensible conclusion. There is a reason that people are not in one political boat after all. I had an 8th grade English teacher that behind us an essay. Who would you vote for, Obama or McCain? That class taught me to never talk about politics if you value friendship. Politics, religion, and abortion used to be the rule. Ravioli in a can. Don't get me wrong, I love ravioli, just not canned. Frozen isn't too hard to make, it's much better. My grocery store sells fresh made ravioli and tortellini and I spend way too much money on them. I mean, nobody wants to admit I ate 9 cans of ravioli, but I did. I'm ashamed of myself. The first can doesn't count. Then you get to the second and third. 4th and 5th I think I burnt with the blowtorch. And then I just kept eating. Christmas. As a kid it was time off school, presents, and seeing my family. As an adult I'm lucky if I get both days off. I stress about finding the right gift for everyone. And I have to see my family. My family will draw names after Thanksgiving dinner so you only have to buy a gift for one person. This is what we do. It's made things exceptionally easier. Same, and it doesn't eliminate stress but it cuts it down drastically. We do this for the adults only and get the little kids all presents, which is always super easy. BC they like basically anything or a gift card for the older ones. Receiving a letter. Now it's just bill taxes trash. Receiving mail as a child was exciting. On the contrary, today I spent an hour going through a stack of mail that I let pile up and shredding about 98% of it. I'm gonna do it. Maybe throw some catnip in there for extra kitty purse. Thanks for the idea. Please report back on the reaction whenever that is. Staying home on a sick day. As a kid it was a huge victory. Got to stay in bed all day, watch TV, and having a parent tend to your every need. Then as an adult you're just thinking about the work you're gonna have to make up for and how you hope you don't need to go to a doctor. At my school you have to make up the work so it's no longer fun. Yeah, but that was a problem for tomorrow me to deal with. Today me got a day off. Today me is such an to tomorrow me. Being outside when it's cold. When I was little, I could play outside in the snow for hours and not even be the faintest bit of cold. Now I can't even stand being outside during winter for a few minutes. Young children have a high percent of brown fat which burns hyper quickly, allowing the body to warm itself extremely efficiently in response to cold. More similar to wild animals, adults have very little brown fat. Homo sapien adults are geared for low amounts of slow burning yellow fat for sustained energy. This gives babies, who would otherwise be very vulnerable in the winter, a tremendous survival leg up. Can you grow brown fat? I'm sick of my stupid slow burning yellow fat. I'm Puerto Rican and chubby. I grow brown fat all the time. Best comment of the day. Mature themes in video games and shows. When it comes to games, as a kid, you wanna shoot some dudes in COD, or join in some heist in GTA, or probably and most likely wanna see a strip club in GTA. But as you get older, it doesn't really matter what the game is, as long as it's fun. If you have free time, if you do wanna play games, you can see grown ass men and women play Pokemon or Animal Crossing, or Minecraft in YouTube. In internet cafes in my country, I see teens and adults playing Minecraft. It's not that adults hate games for mature audiences. I'm aware that the majority of adults that play games are games for mature viewers. It's just that as adults, we are more exposed to different genres. And when it comes to shows, as kids, you probably wanna watch some action show, or see Baywatch or any show that shows some gunshots and titties from women in bikinis, if not naked women. But as adults, we just wanna watch something that isn't too violent or sexual. I don't know why, but I still see adults that still watch SpongeBob or Pokemon or some other show for kids. Maybe the reason why we switch themes when we grow older, probably because as kids, we wanna grow up, and as adults, we wish that we were still children.